Hi, I'm Scott Sweeney. I head up AMS at the config team, and today I have Tom Measures, who head up customer success at the config team. We're going to have a quick chat about what everyone's talking about at the moment. Well, are they really talking about it? As a community, especially at this time, we're guilty of always talking about the 2027 maintenance deadline for ECC. But did you know there's so much more going out of maintenance this year? So Tom, can you fill us in? What are some good examples of what's going out of mainstream maintenance at the end of 25?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. I think the most surprising thing is there are literally hundreds of products going out of maintenance this year, which no one is talking about. The most common examples that affect the most customers are probably EWM 9.4. It's got the shortest maintenance window of any EWM 9. version, and it's a really good example that dates aren't always logical. So it has a longer maintenance window than EWM 9.3. S/4HANA 2020 and older has a shorter window and actually a lot of ECC versions. So customers think they're on the latest version of SAP, but actually they need to be upgrading. And enhancements pack 0 to 5 for ECC, all out of date this year. One that's been really surprising and has actually shocked quite a lot of customers is Simple Finance. It's a module that lots of customers have, and it really impacts your ECC landscape because it invalidates the maintenance dates. So you could be on EHP8, for example, have Simple Finance, but you're out of maintenance this year. And it's a really good example of that one individual product can impact your whole landscape. And what we're seeing really is customers looking at the headlines, looking at their EHP version, thinking about that maintenance date, but actually you need to review your whole landscape and look at all the products within
it. So can I just go back to the EWM 9.4? So we're saying like even 9.3 has a longer maintenance window than 9.4?
Yeah, 9.3 is up to 2027 and you can get extended maintenance. 9.4 is just 2025, so no extended maintenance and a shorter window.
Yeah, this just doesn't seem logical at all, does it? So,
no, and that's really what's not helping customers. There's a lot of surprise and confusion and frustration, and finding out the best route for them to get back into maintenance, get to the latest version. It's not always clear, so that they need guidance.
All right. So how do you know as a customer that your product's going to maintenance? I mean, can you find it yourself, looking at the PAM or maybe checking the system status? What's the points we could offer customers to?
So customers can review their own landscape. They can get the product information out. They can go to the PAM. What I would say about that is there's a lot of information in there. So for each product version, I think there are up to 8 different dates. They all need interpretation. They all need a bit of nuance and complexity. Some appear contradictory. And like I said, you need to go through your whole landscape. So it isn't just, oh, which enhancement pack I'm on. It's going through with fine-tooth comb every product version and looking at all of the implications of that. And then all the ones that impact each other, like the Simple Finance one, that impacts your ECC estate. So there's lots of interpretation that's needed. And if you're not looking at the PAM regularly, it is a lot of information for customers to digest. So I would always advise, come to us, let us help you with that. Let us give you a review of what's going on in your landscape and kind of take that headache away from you.
Okay, no, that's it's a little bit daunting and worrying. So what could happen if you do get out with support? I mean, could you keep going, or do you really need to look at upgrading now, or what's the options for people?
So at the very least, not being on the latest solution means that you're not getting the latest functionality updates. But obviously, as well as that, there are IT security risks. If there's complex legislation changes, SAP would normally resolve those for solutions that are in maintenance. If you can just upgrade your enhancement pack and extend your maintenance, that's typically going to be your best option. But some maintenance problems are only solved by big transformations. So Simple Finance, again, is a good example. You can only extend that maintenance by implementing S4, which obviously is a big project for a customer to do. They don't want to hear that that's their only option. So really working with customers now is becoming very, very nuanced. They haven't allocated time, energy, budget to do those kind of big projects. So even if they decided today they wanted to do S4 to solve that problem, they haven't got the time to implement it and finish that project before the deadline. So it's not a one size fits all. Like working with customers on what they're doing today and the risks of going out of maintenance is really thinking about today, but it's also thinking about the next 3-5 years and getting them to a solution which kind of fits for them in the long term.
Okay, and my understanding is that we're working already with a couple of our existing customers around this. I mean, what's the progress status with this, and how are we progressing that with those customers? In fact, I'll take a step back. How did that customer know that they were out of support?
So yeah, we're working with a few customers at the moment that the first time they found out they were out of support is that when we did a review with them. So we offered them a complimentary review of their landscape, and they found out actually they only have 6-7 months more maintenance on their whole estate. It's a surprise for them, and exactly because of the topics that we talked about at the start. When, as a community, we're not talking about simple finance. We're not talking about EWM 9.4. We're talking about the big headline maintenance dates, and that's what customers are focused on. Where actually there's so much more they need to be looking at, and we're seeing that they're not being told ahead of time. So it really is only once we've gone in there, done that review, and worked with them that they found out actually, yeah, we are out of maintenance end of this year.
Okay. And that review that you undertake with our existing customers just now, how long does that take? Is it quite a lengthy, or is it quite high level? What's the details around that review?
It's quite a short piece of work. We'd need the customer to bring out their bill of materials for all the products they're using. And then after that, it's probably only 1 or 2 days to analyze all that information, depending on the complexity within the customer's landscape. And off the back of that, we'd do a second piece of work, which is just understanding kind of the business priorities for the customer, what their longer term strategy is, and devise a way to get them back into maintenance, to manage that risk, and then what their long term strategy is. Because a lot of customers, when they come confronted with a kind of initial maintenance window, which might be the end of this year, the initial response is a bit of panic. But then after that, actually, it's quite a good lever to have that conversation of, okay, what are you doing about S4 and where do you want to get to and what we're doing about Rise and Cloud. So that initial piece of work is very, very quick, but actually can lead on to a really valuable conversation.
So it sounds like there's no one size fits all. It's almost one size fits one. It's a tailored approach to that customer. But do you need anything else that can maybe cause a delay or a hindrance in that? Do you have access to the system? Do you need to have access to anything else around your system if you're not the current partner there?
No, all the information that we need, the customer can pull out themselves. If we do have access to the custom system already, then we can get that information as well. But it really is a very quick turnaround.
And I suppose the big question is, when should customers do this? When should they be speaking to us?
They should do it right now. It's such a small amount of effort to get such a large amount of information back to the customer. And like I said, there's no lead time from us. I can turn it around very quickly. And there's not a big amount of effort for the customer. So I would say do it right now, and then you've got peace of mind. Even if the answer is, are you in maintenance for the next 5 years? At least you have clarity on exactly what your landscape is doing.
I think that's a very, very crucial point to this. We began with the conversation was customers don't know that some of their components are going out of support that actually knocks the whole environment out of support. So this is all about fact finding what you don't know and finding out, because then you can make a decision what you need to do next. So I do think it's a really important message to put across there, that you may be out of support this year and you just don't know it.
No, absolutely. And it's that clarity. And the customers that we're working with are really, really thankful that we provided that to them, because they weren't getting that information from anywhere else. So it's such a small piece of work for us to do, but it's so much value to the customer.
Yeah, Tom, it sounds like customers have so much choice at the moment that actually that causes them not to make a decision because you just don't know which way to go. Is that your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Historically, customers just upgraded to the latest version of SAP. There's never been so many deployment options, different versions, and it is really confusing customers. They're not sure about some of the messaging, and they really want clarity around that before they make a decision. And that's causing them to approach the maintenance deadlines more and more. So I think even in those conversations, the customer needs clarity about what the best option is for them and how to kind of bridge the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I think the key word there is clarity. It's just knowing. It's just knowing options, knowing where the position they're in just now, and then they can make that decision of what they need to do next.
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing for them to do is get in touch and do that review, and we can give them their options.
Okay, perfect. No, thanks for your time again, Tom. Really appreciate it.
Just got